Hello and welcome back to the channel for another Doctor Who Series 13/Flux video. Today I'm going to be doing the first in a couple of videos anticipating the first episode of Flux, the Halloween Apocalypse. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the synopsis for the episode which has been released and basically just decoding it and seeing what we can glean from it, if anything. And then I'm also going to be taking a closer look at the cast list in another video, and hopefully as well doing a sort of plot prediction to round things off, my prediction of what might happen in the episode and what order things might come based on the clips we've seen and promotional images and etc. So thinking back to when this synopsis was originally released a week or two ago, I don't know about anyone else, but I think the thing that struck me the most is how familiar it seemed. It seems a lot like other Whittaker-era synopses we've had in the past. It reminded me particularly of the one for Resolution, which speaks about a terrifying evil, and also the whole thing of the Arctic Circle to deep space, all these different locations, that again is a trope of the Whittaker era and of the Chibnall era. We've seen it in Resolution as well, we've seen it in Spyfall, we've seen it in Praxeus, in Can You Hear Me, in Revolution of the Daleks as well a bit, I guess you could say. Basically these episodes and these synopses where a lot of different disparate locations are sort of just thrown together and we've got this narrative that's sort of sprawling across time and space. And just to pick up on one particular detail there actually, the Arctic Circle is something that I don't think we've heard about anywhere else apart from in this synopsis. We didn't know that the Arctic Circle is going to be in it from filming or promo pics or the trailer or anything. To my knowledge, we haven't seen any reference to that anywhere else, which, I don't know, makes me a bit suspicious perhaps. Is that going to be a big part of the story? Of course, it could equally just be a little cameo appearance, like in Resolution at the start where we go to Siberia and Sheffield and Noosa Island, I think, is the other place. All these different locations, where they appear for 5 minutes, or not even that, but 30 seconds, and we never see them again. It could just be that again, literally like a set-up thing. But yeah, that did just catch my eye, and I've not seen many other people talking about that actually. Maybe there could be a reason why they've kept that under wraps until now, maybe not. And then of course this line about an ancient evil breaking free. I mean, as I say, we saw this almost word for word in the synopsis for Resolution, and just generally, it's a bit of a trope, isn't it? I mean, not even just in Doctor Who, but in media in general, very gothic, this idea of something from long ago suddenly coming back to haunt us in the present. God knows what this ancient evil is going to be. I mean, again, it's not something that's been referenced elsewhere, I don't think, really. We know a lot of the monsters that are going to be in episode 1, like the Weeping Angels, the Sontarans, Carvinista, etc. But this implies something bigger than those individual monsters, some force perhaps, or I don't know, something that doesn't even have a physical form perhaps. I do have to admit that the first time I saw this, I think the thing that immediately came to mind, the Doctor Who fan inside me, is Fenric, from the Curse of Fenric, which is obviously an ancient evil from the dawn of time, etc. I mean, as I say, we've seen this a lot in Doctor Who and in other stuff, science fiction and gothic stuff and whatever. So I'm not saying it is that, it's probably just a case of that same trope being reused again and it just being some other ancient evil from the dawn of time, because there've been enough of them. But yeah, I think I'd be lying if I didn't just point that out and just say that is what came to mind first of all. One thing I've glossed over, of course, is that pretty much straight away the synopsis does reference Halloween, confirming what we pretty much knew all along, which is that the episode is sort of set on or around Halloween and that it's going to be referenced within the story as well. And obviously the episode title sort of tells you that a bit as well. On the subject of the title as well, I wonder whether it's going to be one of those titles that actually appears in the episode itself, where a character says the title out loud. I mean, perhaps that doesn't immediately spring to mind, that someone might just say the Halloween Apocalypse. It's not the most obvious thing that someone might say. But then again, I think in context, in a particular context perhaps, if it was some sort of camp villain, say, declaring, oh, I'm going to cause the Halloween Apocalypse, I can sort of see that happening, maybe. It would just depend on the context. I mean, maybe it is just a pretty descriptive title. It doesn't bear too much specific relevance to what's going on in the episode. Maybe the word apocalypse is just being used as a general sort of description of what's going on here rather than something specific. In present day Liverpool, the life of Dan Lewis is about to change forever. Yeah, that bit pretty much speaks for itself, really. Very excited to meet John Bishop's character. The next sentence, though, I want to pick up on this a little bit and just take it apart a bit. why is the Doctor on the trail of the fearsome Karvanista? So I think we can safely say from this that the Doctor and Yaz, presumably, have been on the trail of Carvinista for some time prior to the start of the episode, and that there's something they've discovered about Carvinista, or possibly the person that Carvinista is working for, perhaps, because I still think maybe that Carvinista might just be there as a front for some other villain behind the scenes. But yeah, this would seem to imply that they've sort of been tracking him possibly for a while. There's something about Carvinista, or as I say, the person that Carvinista is working for, that the Doctor knows about. Some prior knowledge there, some reason that she's trying to track him down, basically. So what could that be? You know, as I say, could it be that Carvinista is working for someone else and the Doctor is trying to get to that person through Carvinista? Maybe something a bit like, you know, with Karvanista working for Davros in Series 9. Perhaps that's what we're seeing here. Perhaps Carvinista is part of a bigger scheme, this Halloween apocalypse. Because, I don't know, I can't quite see myself Carvinista being the big villain of the whole piece. I think, to be fair, the actor playing him, Craig Ells, is about 6 foot, so I guess on that score he's intimidating. But the whole appearance of, you know, a sort of fluffy, furry dog, I don't know, I can't quite see that being a mastermind behind some sort of massive ploy to destroy the universe. I mean, maybe appearances are being deceptive here, maybe I'm wrong, maybe Carvinista is the biggest baddie since Davros and the Master, what do I know? But yeah, my gut feeling is that there is someone else behind the scenes here. You know, we've got the Sontarans, we've got the Weeping Angels, the Cybermen possibly cameoing in this episode as well. I don't know, I don't feel like any of those individual monsters are going to be responsible for this massive apocalypse, unless they're sort of working together somehow. I guess that's another option. And then, of course, that final sentence of the synopsis, and what is the Flux? A question which, you know, I think we're going to get some answers about in the first episode, but only very vague details about what the Flux is and does and etc. Obviously, this Flux thing is the series arc, and yeah, it's just been implied that we're not going to find out everything about it straight away, perhaps. I think it is going to continue across the 6 episodes. So that question in particular is one for the series as a whole, as opposed to something that's just going to be answered straight away in episode 1. Unlike the previous sentence, presumably we are going to find out what the deal is with Carvinista and what's going on there in the Halloween apocalypse. But that's what I think. What do you think of this synopsis? Is there anything I've missed? Is there anything you disagree with me about? Do let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you've got to say, what predictions you've got for this story. Please also leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you're new for more Doctor Who Series 13/Flux content. And I'll see you again very soon for another video decoding the cast list for the Halloween apocalypse. Lots to unpack there, lots of characters appearing in this episode it would seem. Not quite sure how they're going to fit them all in, but hey, that's a topic for that video. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now.